doing my own thing. It's so fucking weird. 6 years now in the friggin' I Am Legend version of New York City, which is, I just went back to New York on Monday. This is the first week I've been back since everything has happened. And it's just weird, man. The whole city is a little frayed around the edges, coming apart at the seams a bit. It's the strangest thing. There's no businessmen walking around. There's no people that you look and go, all right, they're constructive people that are kind of paying for the city. So restaurants are trying to stay open by putting tables out literally in the street. And no one wants to eat their food in a street in New York City.
Is it where the cars are?
Just where the cars are like having to go around the tables. They set up all those cement barricades so Al Qaeda couldn't drive trucks into people. And now everyone's just eating in the street. There's heroin addicts everywhere, just doing that nod off walk, yelling. I was trying to help out Sullivan's, this Irish place right across the street from the studio. We've been going there for years. So before the show the other day, I got a cheeseburger there. And it's a table underneath one of those tents that you put up for a backyard wedding or something. And I'm eating there. And all I was doing was grabbing my backpack for fear that someone was just going to like punch me and steal it. And watch people within 2 feet of me yelling at each other about drugs and bitches and everything else. I was fucking beside myself. I'm like, I'm never going to do this again. Like this city, and it's not, this will never go back to the way it was. It's done. All the stores they're not just boarded up or anything because of potential riots or anything. The windows are soaped up. You look in, there's no shit in there. It's a stripped building. And that's a lot of places. They could flip the switch tomorrow and say everything's cool. There's just nowhere to go back to. These cities are fucked, like badly fucked. People aren't really talking about that. It's not going to go back when people go, all right, people, COVID's over. We could go back to work. There is no work. There's no buildings. There's no constructive people. Everything's come apart. De Blasio, who's our fucking goofball mayor, has completely screwed up the legal system, everything else. He just flung open the door to Rikers Island. So criminals just walk on the street, no bail for anybody. So you get arrested, you're back out on the street. And it's showing. That's not something that 5 years later, they say, or when it happens, they go, we could see effects in 2 to 3 years of this. It's literally 2 to 3 hours. And the shit is already hitting the fan. So we're fucked in New York. I don't know what the other big cities look like because I haven't been there. But if New York City gauge, holy shit, this is going to take a long time to turn this ship around.
I went to Raleigh a few weeks ago, and it was the same sort of thing. It was like this I Am Legend thing. We had a violent protest, so they busted every window. Raleigh's, of course, a lot smaller, so most of it's focused on 1 or 2 streets. And all the windows were busted out. There's plywood. The stores are closed. And everyone's wearing masks, and it's a different scene.
Man, you guys are crazy. St. Louis, we're doing great.
Yeah, fucking. Hey, I saw your show. It was awesome.
Murders are down to 1,000 a week
to begin with. They're just throwing rocks at plywood.
And I was thinking about how funny it would be if I was thinking about collecting, I was thinking about trying to get like a fake Twitter thread, like getting a bunch of attention where I take photos of East St. Louis from like 2012, 2013, and I say that they're all due to the riot and try and get people like up in arms about it, and then just tell them that they've been lied to. I guess it won't work now, but
you should. What might work? Remember, we were talking about last week, maybe, but it was when Hurricane Katrina happened. Taylor tweeted out. Taylor like edited this footage together where it was footage from the movie 2012 of that that wave that washes over New York City, and like it's halfway up the Empire State Building, just destroying the whole city. And he's like got that juxtaposed with like a news reporter being like, yes, Hurricane Katrina causing major damage across the seaboard, and a lot of people were like, that's fucked too soon. Now you need to do the same thing with someone talking about St. Louis, but just show a picture of Hiroshima.
After the blast,
it was Hurricane Sandy, and the reason people got so mad is because I edited the video and uploaded it while the storm was still happening.
Oh, still going on. Yeah, that was a crazy one.
There were people dying in the streets, and Taylor's tweeting out. Fucking gag.
It was funny.
It was funny. That's why I'm laughing.
You know what else is nuts? Like knowing that there's no way a major city, and I know New York, that New York could ever pay for anything going on right now. I don't know where any money's coming from. There's no businesses are open. All the executives in these things, they're working from home. So the city's not getting their rent money from that shit. And I come in from Long Island on the train. I have my own personal Long Island Railroad train car. So for $10, all the diesel fuel that thing has to burn to get to New York City is just for me. It's like, hey, my own fucking train. So I know they're not paying for the fucking train.
You're traveling with a fucking Vanderbilt.
Yeah, exactly. The second I hear the train go, that's how much I just paid. That's like, now they broke even. Anything more than that is costing them money. The second you hear, that's what I paid for. That's part of the brake drum that I paid. Like, it's so fucking weird, man. It really is. I don't know how this ends. But
in LA, we figured out how to eat in the street in LA too.
You knew how to poop, so.
Yeah. So now
on Skid Row.
for like 2 weeks, we were allowed to go down to my favorite barcade down the street, but we couldn't go in. We could only stand in the parking lot drinking $10 Moscow mules out of these crummy like plastic cups, staring through all the video games through a window, like staring into the barcade. Like we were little kids who wanted to go in.
You went to a barcade and you couldn't even play the games?
Because I'm going insane. Like I need to see other people. I'll see. I'm willing to flirt with Buffalo Bill at this point. It's been so long since I've seen another woman. The best part is,
fuck me?
LA tricked women into coming back into the city by opening up all the Pilates stuff for like a week and a half, and then said, "Oh no, never mind." So now they all left they left all their sugar daddies or their actual daddies and came back into town to try to like play business again. And now they're all on Instagram going like, well, wait a minute. This is fucked. Like, oh, welcome to the fucking party, pal. You got a problem with it now? You can hear them getting fatter.
I don't believe
it sounds like jelly sliding down a hill.
I'm one of those guys. I don't believe the COVID thing. I just don't fucking believe it.
Oh God!
I don't believe the mask.
Knock some sense into them, man. I tried to do this for like 10 minutes earlier.
Anything. I am fucking like enough of this shit. I don't know anyone in 4 months, and I know a lot of fucking people. In 4 months, I don't know one person that's even had a cold. Not even a fucking cold. I'm in Ground Zero, New York City. I don't know anyone that's even had a fucking cold. And enough. Just take the masks off. Let's go to work. If people get sick, they might get sick. Most of them feel nothing. Some of them get a cold. Some of them get the flu. It's bad. And some people die. Yes, this has been happening for fucking centuries. Who gives a shit? I'm sorry. If you want to send the kids to school, that's another thing. The youngsters, it's literally statistically 0%. With the plus or minus 0% of school-age kids have died from this. And if you have a grandma at home, then don't send your kid. They could go online still with teachers maybe that have a pre-existing condition or too old or whatever, and they could still teach them online. But everybody else, get the fuck to work, go to school, open your shit, and let's see what the fuck, because I don't think it's anywhere near what they're saying. This is very politically motivated.
You think it's all an effort to get Trump out?
Dude, they want Trump out. I honestly believe it because we've only seen that for 4 years. All we've seen are people trying to get Trump out. And here's the big clincher. If it's a month out of the election and none of this shit has worked, they will take a shot at the fucking guy. I don't put it past these fucks to try the Kennedy solution when it comes to our president. I don't put it past them. All of this will end on election day. All of a sudden, there's a cure. There's nothing. No one will talk about. A month after Election Day, we're going to open our glove compartment, pull out a mask, and go, remember this shit? Remember? It's all a fucking work. Who can't see this? They've been fucking with us for 4 years with this shit.
Where's the guy going into seizures? Find me one American that did one of those Chinese seizures that they were showing us.
Find me someone that didn't get health care where they died of COVID because of lack of being able to go to a hospital, get on a ventilator. No one. Everyone has been able to be treated for this. No one died in the street. No one died in their house like the fucking Stand. No, it was always fucking. Everyone is getting. You get the flu, and then they say, "Oh, the cases are going up." They're supposed to go up. The whole thing was about flattening the curve so the hospitals don't get overwhelmed. They did that, and then it turned into until a vaccine, until there's a cure. You're supposed to get this. That's how it's worked through history. You're supposed to get it. Some people, horrible, they'll die. That's what happens. Oh, my grandmother died of COVID. Mine died of cancer. Why are you so fucking special? It's a disease. It's a fucking disease. Sorry. Holy shit. It's a work. It's a scam. Trust me on this. I'm drinking.
Dude, it's way more fun to be on Dick and Anthony's side. I'm
going to pace all future public policy opinions on Anthony's friends.
That's way better. I'm on the side where it's like, of the 5 of us, I'm the only one that still has like a normal job that I go to regularly, and I've been able to work from home for 4 months straight, and I don't care if this was 1,000,000% made up. I do not want to go back. It turns out in fucking 2020, everything that you can do in a marketing, sales, advertising position, you can do from home. You can do just fucking fine. And so what I'm dreading is really if they shut this down and then clients are suddenly like, all right, well, everybody back into the office. Like, no,
I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. I think this was the push that people needed to use the technology that we already had to not pay $1,000 per square foot in a big city when everyone could get their job done at home through things like Zoom or any other one of the Discord, anything.
TikTok, whatever the kids are using.
TikTok, your MySpace, whatever it is.
eBay, probably. I don't know.
Wouldn't it be great if MySpace had a huge resurgence because of this?
That would be hilarious if it came back and. What's his name? Who was the owner of that? His picture was there.
Tom.
Your first friend that you ever got. Tom's just like, I'm making another go for this, guys. Help me out here.
Hey, Tom never sold our data, man. Tom was our man.
All the memes are about Tom, where it's like, hey, this is Tom from MySpace. He sold out for $500 million, and then he retired. He never sold your data. He never fucked with you. He saw an out and was like,
wow,
life is gold.
Yeah, he didn't censor you. He didn't tell you what you could say. Yeah.
He didn't give a shit like that. Yeah, Tom from MySpace, cool ass dude.
No.